Alright, a couple of months ago I explained how I was completing up to 2 reward tracks every single month by only spending about 5 minutes in WvW per day. The whole method relied on completing fast dailies and consuming the resulting reward track potions. This isn't possible anymore ever since ArenaNet got rid of the potions and introduced the Wizard's Vault instead. But that doesn't have to be a bad thing. If you adapt your strategy somewhat, you can still spend relatively little time in WvW without having to give up on reward tracks completely. And for the people wondering, I don't dislike WvW. It's just that there's so much for me to do in PvE that I have to cut time short in other game modes. Anyways, let's take a look at my new approach. There is only 2 ways to advance your reward track now, and both involve being active in the game mode. You'll want to make sure you have the maximum tier of participation rewards, because the higher the tier, the more reward track progress you'll be getting every 5 minutes. Maxing this out is relatively simple as long as you're just playing the game. Different objectives reward differing amounts and will maintain your participation for a set amount of time. So you can still run around solo flipping camps, killing Dolyaks and completing other easy to solo objectives. Or you can still join a commander and engage in larger scale battles and capture bigger objectives. Personally, I notice I'm watching the clock way more often when I'm playing solo, so if you feel like things are getting stale, switch things up and try to find a few people or a commander to tag along with. To complete a full reward track, you'll need 20,000 points. And if you're quick with numbers, you'll know that by getting 195 points every 5 minutes, you'll be playing for a little over 8.5 hours to complete a reward track. If this sounds too long for you, don't worry, there's ways to massively shorten this number. First of all, there's the reward chests, which will also impact our new strategy if we want to be efficient. Every time that 5-minute timer hits 0, you not only get points of the reward track progress, you also get something often referred to as pips. Every time you get enough pips, you progress a track towards a reward chest. You start off with a wooden chest, then bronze, silver, all the way up to diamond. The amount of pips you require increases for every type of chest, but the rewards do so as well. Every time you complete a milestone for the wooden chest, for example, you get some extra instant reward track progress, and you get double that for the final milestone. When you hit bronze next, you'll get 2 levels of reward track progress for each milestone and 3 for the final, and this number will go up for every new chest that you unlock. This might be basic information for some of you, but it's crucial to understand if you want to be efficient. Whereas in the past you would be fine playing only 5 minutes per day to unlock the potions, now you'll be reaping more reward if you can play for an hour or 2 consecutively, because all those chest milestones will start to stack up real fast. The amount of pips you get every 5 minutes can be increased as well. You'll start off with 4, 5 or 6 pips, depending on whether your world is winning their current matchup or not. If you completed the wooden chest a week before, you also get an extra pip for free. So instead of playing a couple of minutes per day, try and aim to complete a wooden chest every single week. If you're running around mostly solo and there is no allies or enemies, it also pays to kill all enemy NPCs, because those reward you with world XP, and the higher your world level, the more bonus pips you can earn. You'll get 1 extra pip for being under level 150 and another extra for being above level 150. Then another for being above level 620 and so on. Hitting level 150 is relatively easy to do over the course of a couple of weeks of playing and could be a valuable goal to set. Anything after is just a nice bonus. Finally, if you like commanding, you could reap some extra rewards as well. A commander with a squad of at least 5 people will get an extra pip, and a commander with a public squad of at least 10 people will get 3 extra pips. I've never commanded in WvW because frankly, I'd probably lead my team to a certain demise, but don't hesitate to tag up if you see 4 or 5 others following you around from camp to camp. Alright, so that's a big part of the equation out of the way, but we don't have to content ourselves with getting a mere 195 reward track progress every 5 minutes. See, this number can be affected by certain bonuses and some are really easy to obtain. If you have a guild, go to the enhancement vendor and enable the guild's reward track bonus. This is up to 10% extra reward track progress completely for free as long as you remember to enable it. If you have a specific character for WvW, it's even easier, because once you enable the bonus, you won't ever have to think about it again. Next, try and get an Ascended Amulet, so that you can socket a reward track enrichment, which is another 5% bonus for very little extra effort. This 15% might not seem all that significant, but it actually already reduces that 8.5 hours to 7.5, and that's before we even take the reward chests into account. Some of the other bonuses are relatively easy to get, while others might prove to be somewhat of a challenge. If you followed my advice and you bought a candy corn gobbler during the Halloween event, you can add another massive 50% bonus reward track progress. If you don't have the gobbler, you could look for heroic boosters instead, but please don't buy them from the gem store. I find those to be rather expensive. If you have the Snowflake or Zytaffy gobbler, you can add another 25% on top. And the Snowflake gobbler should be available in a couple of weeks during the Winter's Day event, by the way. And I have some good news for those who hate stacking the Halloween buffs. These two gobblers are much more user-friendly and they only require a single click. Remember me saying the Wizard's Vault isn't all that bad? You still get a celebration booster for completing the weekly objectives. And if you want to go all the way, you can start buying Black Lion boosters with statuettes as well. If you're short on statuettes, go and check out my world completion guide and you'll be swimming in them soon. Now, if you've gone all the way and you stacked literally every single of these bonuses, those 8.5 hours I mentioned at the start will drop down to just under 4 hours. Now, don't feel the need to buy all these boosts, by the way. Start with the easy to acquire ones and try to save up some gold for whenever the festival gobblers become available throughout the year. There's one more bonus you can get, but this one is completely out of your hands. Every so often, ArenaNet will add a time-specific bonus. And one of these is actually active right now. The new Hero Jumpstart boost will give you another 30% reward track progress for free. So for the coming 10 days, you might want to hop over to the Mists and make some extra progress. If there's anything else you want to know, hit me up in the comments down below or join my Discord. And I'd really love it if you could hit the like and subscribe buttons before you go to the next video, because I've got some major content plans for next year, so you're gonna want to stay in touch.